My name is Katy Knowles, and I am from Charlotte, North Carolina originally. I grew up there, loved it. I actually was just living there for a little while, but moved back down to Charleston, South Carolina, is where I'm at right now. I went to college here, and this is actually where I started my fitness career, if you will. I grew up dancing my entire life, so I've always been involved in movement, and I've always loved that. And then when I went to college, I kind of stepped away from dance and moved more into fitness. And my roommate took me to a bar class, and at first I was like, what the heck is this? And then I just kind of kept going, and next thing I knew, I was freaking obsessed and addicted, and I was going every day. And then from there, I just started dabbling in yoga, HIIT, running. Like I love it all. So I love to kind of mix it up. And through doing that, I got certified in bar. I taught at a couple studios here in Charleston, which I just love. There's nothing better than teaching a group of people. Feeding off that energy is definitely what lights me up. And so I've taught at a couple of gyms here and managed, and as well as like worked the front desk. So I've kind of learned all different angles of it. And then COVID hit, as we all know. And I, excuse me, I started my own online fitness subscription service with one of my best friends, who is now my business partner. We actually started teaching together. We had been on the fitness journey on the same path, and we kind of saw the whole fitness industry go digital overnight when COVID hit. And we were like, you know what? Let's just like try our own thing. We've always wanted to do it. And we were like, well, no better time than now. So that's kind of been a little bit of the bride of my experience. Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny. Like I said, I've always loved movement and fitness. And then when I got into bar specifically, that's what I was addicted to. And I was going every day, and I had this one teacher that I just loved. She just spoke to me, and I just loved her class, her energy, her music. She was great. So I would always try to go to her class. Like if it was 6 a.m., if it was 6 p.m., it didn't matter. I was like, I'm going to go. And every time I was there, I loved being there. I knew that maybe someday down the road, I'd like want to have a studio of my own. Like I was thinking very big terms, because I was just enjoying it for what it was. And it was kind of still new to me. I mean, I had been a client for about like a year or so, and I was taking my favorite teacher's class, and I'll never forget that I was walking out of the door after class ended, and she like chased me out into the parking lot and was like, Katy. I was like, yeah, what's up? And she was like, we're hiring. I think you would be a great teacher. I think you would just be a really good fit. Would you want to teach? I was so dumbfounded. I looked at her and I go, teach what? Like, what do you mean, me? Like, I just never expected that to happen so soon, but I knew in my heart and in my like intuition, it was something I wanted to do. And then to feel like this woman who I looked up to, she was my favorite instructor, and to feel like she believed in me, that I could do it. I was like, well, why not? Hell yeah. Like the opportunity just landed in my lap, and I was like, let's go for it. So it's kind of a different route than most people take. Like it wasn't like a light bulb just went off and I was like, let's go. It just kind of came to me, and I just followed the path, and I'm so glad I did. I've never looked back since. I mean, I love it all, but definitely the first one I think is the energy of just everybody in a room. I thrive off of other people's energy. I'm such like an energy being. I'm such an empath too. So I like absorb it all in. So the energy of obviously pre-COVID, teaching just a packed room of people and moving together and breathing together. it just kind of gets me out of my head and into my body and into everything else around me. I just kind of forget, you know, whatever's happened before, whatever's coming next. So the energy of that is just what keeps me always coming back.
Absolutely.
And I think something that's like tied into that is community. That's what also like really drew me into the fitness space, is because I have met so many fabulous people through what I do that, sure, they started off as clients or members, but now are like my friends, my family. You know, they tell me their stories, their wins, their losses. Like, they come to class and they're like, this is the only thing that's getting me through. And I'm like, well, let's go. You know, it's so cool to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And so many people come into the fitness space for so many different reasons. And that's kind of what I love about it. So many different people, different stories, different experiences. I love connecting with people. So that's probably my third, is just connecting and sharing in that with other people that truly just love to show up and put the work in. So I can speak for, you know, what I feel myself. And I think something that I'm still shifting through and learning as a fitness instructor is just finding my own voice. Like the space is so saturated in the industry, which is freaking amazing. It's phenomenal that there's so many different people you can go to and so many different modalities that you can try out. But just really finding your true voice and what you're about, because that's what's going to bring you above the fray and is going to make you kind of stand out and find your people. So just really holding true to like who you are when you get in that room and put your mic on, and just being genuine and authentic. Sometimes it can be, you can kind of lose sight of that, because I know I can be guilty of like comparing myself to others in the space, because there are just so many people. So just really staying true to that, which I kind of do through always just coming back to myself. I like to get really grounded before I teach. I'm big into, you know, meditation and journaling. And so I just really tried to tap back into that before I, you know, give my energy to like 40 people in a room. But other than that, I think the biggest part too for me that I struggle with is just knowing that, you know, not that everybody that walks in your room is going to be your person. Sometimes I'll kind of get in my head, like if I'm teaching a class and maybe I see someone roll their eyes or their energy is just a little bit off, I can sometimes get in my head. And majority of the time, it's probably not even about me. They're probably just having a bad day. But, you know, if I'm not somebody that they really feed off of as an instructor, that's okay. That just opens up more room for somebody new to come in that might be my person.
Absolutely.
So just kind of being mindful of that.
It's an important issue, because as trainers, we really try to give everything we have in class. So it's very difficult when someone is just like, is having a bad day and is just like bringing that into class. So it's hard to understand that it's not about us sometimes, that it's just their day. And
exactly. And I'm such a I'm such a people pleaser too. So I want to like please everyone and make everyone happy. It's something that I'm working on in my personal life as well as my professional life with coaching. But yeah, like you said, I could be teaching the best class in my life and I'll see like somebody maybe be a little bit off, and I just have to remember like, no, Katy, just be true to who you are, keep going. And sometimes it's hard, but you know, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to keep showing up for the people who we help and who we make happy. So
exactly, and that's what you have to remember.
Yeah,
is like why you're there, and that's what you're there for. The people that are showing up for you, I'm going to show up right back for you too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like I said, we saw the whole fitness space just really go digital overnight. And I have taught classes. I can teach till I'm blue in the face because I've been doing it for like 5 years now. It feels so natural. I've managed, I've worked the front desk. So all that I feel comfortable with, but add COVID in and everything going digital, learning the technology side of things was definitely a challenge. Like clearly, you know, having issues with the Zoom this morning, like technology is definitely not my strong suit, or at least it wasn't pre-COVID. I'm still working on it, but I definitely feel a little more proficient now. So that was a major pivot, was learning, you know, my business partner and I had to get all of the technology to, you know, record ourselves, stream ourselves, and then get editing software to then edit it and upload it. And it has been a challenge, and I love challenges, but in a way it is a silver lining, because I feel like it has allowed me to kind of have a perspective of how to do a little bit of it all when it comes to fitness. Like I can handle the in studio stuff, and now I feel very more comfortable with the technology side of things. So that was a big way of pivoting. And then I think since we all were at home, and I know where we are, some gyms are more open now. So people have been going back into gyms, but some people still don't feel comfortable. In some places still aren't open yet. So I think people that are at home need more motivation.
Yeah.
Like, so when I'm teaching a class, I know me personally, when working out at home, it's so hard for me. It's really hard for me to get that motivation. So when I'm teaching those online classes to those people at home, I feel like I have to tap into more motivational cueing, because I know how hard it is for them to even just put the video on or turn the Zoom on. Like, it's a lot harder than actually, you know, going to the studio and energy of people and having that accountability. So kind of tweaking how you coach a little bit more in a way. So I think what a great silver lining is with COVID is how almost every studio or brand or anyone that does this in this space, I think pretty much now has a digital offering, which is really cool, because say, you know, your clients that love you, they go on vacation, they're traveling, they can still do your workouts from wherever they are, which is beautiful. That kind of gives you that sense of home. You know, the trainers you love, you can kind of take them with you wherever you go. And then also, I've seen it for my business. You know, I started out just in Charleston teaching in studios. And then when I launched my online, I can just reach a way bigger audience than I ever could just here in Charleston. You know, I love my Charleston people and everything, but it's cool that when people hear about us, you know, like how we're getting connected, or like we have clients from just all over the country, and you get to know more people. It's like a big sense of community from people all over. So that's, I think, a really good silver lining that will kind of carry forward after COVID. So I think like the trend I have started to see specifically is, I think the last couple of years, everybody was really into like hard hitting workouts. And don't get me wrong, I still love that type of thing, and people still do. It's always going to be there. It's great. Like that high intensity. There's days where I just want to go and like knock it out. But I think especially with COVID, a trend that I'm really starting to see here is that people want more of a mental workout as well. Like they kind of want a soulful experience. Like I want to get on my mat and just get out of my head, like kind of clear up some things that are going on in here. And I just want to feel good. I want to move my body. And I think COVID kind of, you know, led us that direction, because it was hard enough to show up. It was hard enough to motivate yourself to get those workouts in. And I think COVID brought in a lot of anxiety and stress, and there was a lot of unknown going on. So just to use fitness as a way to not only get exercise in physically, but also mentally, like almost, you know, movement meditation is what I like to call it. It's like therapeutic.
Absolutely.
So I've seen a lot of people here really searching for that, like a soulful fitness experience.
Yeah, so that's a great
Which is cool, because that's what I love.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, there's just so much. I think, it kind of goes in hand with what I said before, but just really truly staying true to who you are is probably hands down the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to find your people. And that's how you're also going to feel your best. And then once you feel your best and you're doing what lights you up because you're being true to who you are, that's when you're going to deliver your best classes, your best energy, your best product, whatever it is, when you're just really owning and showing up powerfully as yourself and nobody else. So, and that's hard, especially with social media and the comparison thing. And it's a lot easier said than done, but it feels so good. I definitely would have to say the community, how we talked earlier, like, people show up for me. I want to show up tenfold for them too, like people will have a lot going on. I understand that. And like I said, a lot of my clients have become friends and family. So I know their stories, and I know like sometimes that 30-minute class is like the best part of their day because the rest of their life is just blowing up, and so and I know that feeling. So just to really make sure that I am present and being there for them for whatever period of time this class is, from the moment I walk in the studio, from the moment I walk out, I want to be coming from a place of service to be there for others, to hold space, to allow them to just, if you want to show up and go balls to the walls and push really hard, we can do that. But if you're just showing up because you just need to be there and you might just kind of chill the whole time, that's cool too. I just want to hold space for all of, my clients, and they show up for me. So that's the least that I can do for them. Oh, there's so many, but honestly, the first one that comes to my mind is Melissa Wood Health. I know she's pretty popular in the space right now, but she really aligns with a lot of the things that I've been saying. I think she is extremely true to herself and who she is. And I love that she also prioritizes a lot of self-care. Like meditation is very important to her. And I'm someone who's very big into that because I truly see and feel the effects myself. So I am an avid preacher of the benefits of meditation. So I think she is just fabulous. She's just genuine. I think she offers a lot of value to her clients, and not only her clients. I don't subscribe to her, but I follow her on Instagram, and even just through her Instagram, I learn so many different things about, maybe beauty things she's doing to kind of take care of herself, or meditations or breath work or whatever it is. She truly offers a lot of value and knowledge, which I think is really cool, more than just movement.
Absolutely. I love her too. So yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Yeah. And
she's awesome.
Yeah.
I think honestly, it does kind of shift because through life, we kind of change. And right now, my motto is really just to show up powerfully. And every day that might look a little different. It's not going to be the same thing every single day, but especially to my clients and members, like I want to show up and give you 100%. That 100% might look different a little bit every single day. I'm not going to promise you I'm going to be perfect, but giving my best and giving my all is what I truly align myself in.
Yeah.
So showing up powerfully and just showing up as me. And that's really what I have to remind myself before I walk in the door every day before class, before I put that headset on. And, I try to just ground myself, like I said, and show up powerfully. I just say it over and over in my head. And so that's really what it is for me.